In the headlines, police arrest ex-soldier for supplying arms to terrorists in Zamfara. Flood destroys houses, displays hundreds in Plateau community. EFCC arrests Ogun speaker at Lagos airport. And on the foreign scene, Ethiopia-Eritrea forces launch new offensive in Tigray. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. We begin in Zamfara, where the police in the state say a notorious kidnapper alleged to carry out various offences ranging from armed robbery, illegal possession of prohibited firearms and gun running has been arrested. According to the police, the suspect, who was an ex-serviceman, was intercepted along Abuja-Kaduna Highway. The report.
The suspect, a 41-year-old ex-serviceman Said Lawal, was arrested by the police with one AK-47 rifle and one AK-49 rifle. Other items recovered from the suspected kidnapper were 200 7.6mm rounds of live ammunition, 501 7.62 by 51mm rounds of general-purpose machine gun, GPMG, live ammunition, and 8 empty magazines. The Zamfara State Police Command Public Relations Officer PPRO Superintendent Muhammad Shehu, who paraded the suspect, said the alleged kidnapper specializes in armed robbery, kidnapping, and gun running. He said the suspect is one of the notorious kidnappers who have for long been disturbing the peace and security of Zamfara and neighboring Katsina, Kaduna, Niger, Kebbi, and Sokoto states. The PPRO said police tactical and escort team attached to the commissioner acted on intelligence report that led to the arrest of the suspect, who was an ex-service personnel of the Nigeria Army attached to 73 Battalion Janguza Army Barracks, Kano.
Police tactical/escort team attached to the Commissioner of Police, Zamfara State Police Command CP Kola Yusuf PSC, acted on actionable intelligence that led to the arrest of the above-named suspect, who was an ex-service personnel of the Nigerian Army attached to 73 Battalion Janguza Army Barracks, Kano. The suspect was intercepted with a Pontiac Vibe vehicle with registration number KRD 686CY Lagos along Abuja-Kaduna en route Zamfara.
The police said the suspect had, in the course of interrogation, confessed that he was to convey the said exhibits to his customer in Tsapa local government area of Zamfara State.
In the course of interrogation, the suspect confessed that he was to convey the said exhibit from local government area of Nasarawa State to his customer, Wandogo Hamza M. of Bacha Village in Tsapa local government area of Zamfara State.
The suspect further confessed that he had previously supplied the same consignment to his other customers in Kaduna, Katsina, Niger, and Kebbi states. The PPRO said police operatives are currently conducting discreet investigation with a view to arresting his associates.
And still talking security, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has arrested a 27-year-old fake soldier in Gombe State. Parading the suspect, the NSCDC said Suleiman Rabiu, who has been parading himself as a military officer for the past 2 years, will be charged to court. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
The 27-year-old Suleiman Rabiu is also being accused of torturing helpless civilians in Gombe metropolis. Speaking to newsmen, the suspected impersonator confessed to the crime.
I used to parade myself as a soldier everywhere. I told an officer that I was an army officer. I later retracted, but he investigated and confirmed I am an imposter.
The Gombe State Commandant of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, said the suspected army imposter was arrested following an intelligence report.
The other second one is, you see, he's wearing fika for the military, a military uniform, parading himself as a military officer. And time without numbers, they bring complaints to him, or to us, and then after all, we arrested him. We do all our utmost, strength in order to bring sanity to this state, and then do all our possible, possibility, so that, we'll now do and then about crimes and then criminality in the state, so that people will sleep with their eyes closed.
Then CDC also paraded some suspected vandals of telecom masts and internet fraudsters. The command said all the suspects will be arraigned in court for trial. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
The Katsina State Governor, Aminu Bello Masari, has handed over operational vehicles to security operatives in the state. While handing over the operational vehicles, the governor called on security personnel to use the vehicles effectively. Jamil Mabai has the details.
9 locally made armored personnel carriers were produced in Kebbi State at the cost of 100 million naira. Governor Masari explained that the operational vehicles would augment weapons being used by the security operatives in the war against terrorism in the state.
He has said is to support the operations of security agencies, especially in the front line, local government, and those local government that are equally affected. I think with these 9, we have over 30 APCs now in Katsina. I don't know what the military have, but from what the police and our efforts, I'm sure we have over 30 APCs in Katsina.
This is the first edition of the 9, and the state is expecting the 10th APC to support the operation of security agencies, especially in the frontline local government areas that are equally affected. Masari assured the people that with the massive support given to security agencies, efforts to curtail security challenges in the state would be further enhanced.
I think if we continue and with the cooperation with the general public, because whatever the security agencies are going to do, without the cooperation of the local population, it will be very difficult. And our biggest problem now is the connivance by informants that are given targets. Any abduction or kidnapping inside the communities or inside towns or inside the city is the work of the informant. Because the normal kidnapping by armed bandits may be roadblock. You don't know who's coming.
While lamenting over the activities of bandits' informants, the governor appealed to residents to support the state government and the security agencies in the fight against crime and criminality. The governor commended the military and other security agencies in the state for their prompt and speedy response to distress calls. Jamil Mabai, Trust TV News, Katsina.
And heavy rainfall has destroyed many houses in Tudun Osi of Jos North local government area of Plateau State. The heavy downpour, according to residents, started in the afternoon when everyone was going about their normal activities. For more than a decade, the affected community has been experiencing such floods during each rainy season. The report.
The residents are seen packing their belongings after the destruction by the flood. For more than a decade, the affected community has been experiencing the same incidents of flooding, with reports indicating many people lost their lives, including homes. More than 100 houses were affected by the flood, with over 50 destroyed. The affected residents said, apart from the building, the rainfall had also destroyed their properties, including clothes, food items, among others. The flood has taken us by surprise. We have never expected it. It has destroyed my house and that of my neighbors. The entire family has lost a lot. It was a very bad situation. If this has happened in the night, it would have been disastrous. We thank Allah that it has happened during the daytime. We are calling on government and other spirited individuals to come to our aid.
na ruwa na ambaliya da ya shigo ya same mu a cikin unguwa
It was a flood that put us in this situation. That is what Allah has permitted to happen to us. We have no words to say than to seek Allah's help for what has happened to us. I have lost a lot to the incident. The fence of my house has fallen. Some of the victims pray that they don't experience such a disaster, calling on government to help them with building materials to cushion the effect of the incident. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
The Kano State Executive Council has approved and directed the immediate marking and demolition of all existing structures built on Kwerengogo stream in the metropolis. Also marked for demolition are drainage lines within and surrounding Kantinkwari Market, with a view to removing all obstacles that hinder smooth flow of both storm and wastewater in the area. The State Commissioner for Information, Muhammad Garba, disclosed this while briefing newsmen on the outcome of the Council's weekly meeting held at the Executive Council Chambers, Government House, Kano. The Council also resolved that desilting and evacuation of all blocked drainages within the market and its surroundings, as well as removal of building materials deposited on drainage lines within the market. Meanwhile, the Kano State Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduji has revoked the title of the land of the collapsed building that claimed the life of a rescue worker. The governor, during a visit to the scene on Wednesday, said originally the land should be for a parking space only, as it is too small for shop construction. He directed that the place should be converted to a parking space. He added that a technical committee would be instituted to look into the remote and immediate causes of the tragedy. He urged marketers to cooperate with workers who were excavating debris, adding that after excavating the scene properly, government will immediately start providing a befitting parking space. Meanwhile, a 3-year jail term awaits prosecuted motorcycle riders, popularly known as Okada riders, and their passengers, as the second phase of ban in 4 local government areas of Lagos State begins. This, according to the Commissioner for Transport, Frederick Oladende, is in line with the provision of Section 46, subsections 1, 2, and 3 of the Transport Sector Reform Law, adding that prosecuted riders will also have their motorcycles impounded and crushed in public view. The Commissioner, who spoke on behalf of the Ministerial Committee on Okada, implored the public to join hands together with the state government by complying with the ban, which is geared towards combating the menace created so that sanity can return to the state. Lagos State Government had on August 18th announced the extension of the ban on Okada in 4 more local government areas of the state and their respective 5 local council development areas with effect from September 1. You're watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come on the news, we'll look at the menace of street hawking. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us.
documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now let's recap our top stories. Police arrest ex-soldier for supplying arms to terrorists in Zamfara. And flood destroys houses, displaces hundreds in Plateau community. And moving on to other news now. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Olakunle Olumo, at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos. Olumo was arrested over allegations bordering on financial crimes. A staff member at the Assembly who pleaded anonymity said the Speaker was picked up on Thursday at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, by operatives following a tip-off. Reports say he has been on the wanted list for the Commission following his failure to honor EFCC invitations several times. He and some others are accused of forging signatures and financial documents of the Assembly. And experts have described street hawking by minors as a vivid picture of child neglect and exploitation by parents and agents who push young children into what has for them become a business, not only for survival, but for material gains. In this report, Trust TV's Kabir Lawal takes a look at street hawking, especially between the age group of 8 and 15 years in the Federal Capital Territory. The report.
The phenomenon of street hawking has considerably increased throughout the world and most especially in Nigeria. Every year, billions of individuals, mostly female, are forced to submit to servitude. In urban cities where the business is commonly believed to be poverty-motivated thrives, children and women, who are the major role players, face different risks, especially rape, accident, ritual activities, as well as loss of education opportunities. However, parents have been cautioned to desist from sending their wards street hawking, as it is against the Child Rights Act, which has been domesticated in more than 30 states of the Federation.
The economic situation is really dwindling and is going down, and which is also contributing to making a lot of parents send their kids out on the street. But I would say on the part of the government, they really have a major role to play because they are the guardian of these children. If we have better laws in place that protects the Child Act and that has strict punishments to those who default these laws, I believe it can go a long way to curbing this issue.
However, parents decreed the lack of employment and economic hardship as some of the reasons why they indulged their wards in street hawking to be able to put food on the table. They made desperate plea to government to regulate the rising inflation currently in the country.
Kids should be in school. They shouldn't be seen hawking at about this time of the day. Even if they have to do it, it shouldn't be during school hours. Yeah, I understand this is summer, but I mean, the government should do something about it. Ensure kids go to school.
I think government now develop interest in this Nigerians individual and creating job opportunity. All this one will not continue.
Government is at the center of it all because without the government, there's nothing the masses can do. Without a strong law in place, there's nothing that can be done. And then you see some children who are on the street. Some of them don't even have parents. How are such children supposed to survive? I feel like the government should make provision, maybe in its budget, that caters for such kids.
Some of the underage children that spoke to our correspondent said the economic situation of the country has made them come out to sell things on street, adding that most of the time their teachers are not available in the school. My parents are not here, but I stay with my uncle, and he has been of help to me. Most time our teachers in the village are not there when we're in school, which made it very difficult for us to learn. My parents are not rich. We have to keep food on the table for ourselves. And I have no option than to arm out and help my parents despite the economic situation. Street hawking is a universal phenomenon which requires urgent attention from all and sundry as it distorts child's development and government policies. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And the police in Bauchi have arrested 2 suspected vigilantes for raping a housewife at gunpoint in Dogonrua village in Ningi local government area of the state. Police Public Relations Officer Ahmed Wakil confirmed the incident to Trust TV at the command headquarters, Bauchi. Trust TV's Adam Imam completes the story.
The police spokesman said detectives attached to Ningi Division received a distress call, after which the 2 suspects were arrested for allegedly raping a wife of one Alhaji Gare. He also confirmed that the 2 suspects were conspired to have committed the crime around on August 25th.
On reaching the house of Alhaji Gire, they broke into the room of his wife where they met the wife sleeping. They approached her on gunpoint and had a carnal knowledge of her. 2 of the principal suspects, Babangida Sule, started on gunpoint, then Lawali Sule as the second. On getting the distress call, the Commissioner of Police, Bauchi State Command CP Umar Mansanda, directed DPO Ningi and his team of detectives swung into action and arrested those 2 culprits, where investigation commenced. The 2 culprits confessed to the crime. Presently, the suspects were here with us and we're going to charge them to court.
Police have also arrested one Mato Yohana, 27 years of age, for allegedly raping a 3-year-old girl in Jimbin village of Ganjua local government area, which all of the suspects confessed to the crime. We had argument on whether to rape her or not, but I decided I went first, and then my partner did it after me. We were holding them guns at that time, and surely we have committed the crime, and we regretted our actions after we were apprehended by the police. My work as vigilante is to help reduce crime, but I mistakenly committed the crime. Initially, we went to arrest the victim's husband, but we couldn't get him. Then we saw his wife and she attracted us. We did the thing with her consent. Though she saw us carrying our den guns, maybe that is why she agreed. I'm Mato Yohana, 22 years of age. I raped a 3-year-old baby girl. It was an accident, though I am ignorant of the law that raping is a crime. The victims were taken to the General Hospital Ningi for medical examination. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
The Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna, has graduated 129 paratroopers of the Basic Airborne Course 7 to 2022. Amongst the cadets, the Academy's cadets of the 70th regular course. The paratroopers, who are pioneer jumpers of the newly established NDA drop zone, are also at their 4th year in the Academy, currently undergoing their 5-year academic and military training before they are commissioned into the armed forces as officers. The report.
Speaking at the event, the Director of Military Training of the Academy, Brigadier General Emmanuel Emeka, said the training is in line with the curriculum of the NDA for cadet training as reviewed by the Chief of Defense Staff. Emeka explained that the purpose of the Basic Airborne Course is to qualify the cadet in the use of parachute as a means of combat deployment. He said the overall objective is to have officers that are physically fit, mentally alert, and ready to confront the nation's contemporary security challenges.
Okay, it's in line with the reviewed curriculum of the Nigerian Defense Academy for training of cadets, as approved by the Chief of Defense Staff, and also the Commandant's training philosophy, which lay a lot of emphasis on physical fitness of cadets to be able to meet contemporary security challenges it's in line with that we are exposing cadets to specialized warfare courses.
Some of the paratroopers cadets said they went through the rigors of ground training, tactical and jump phases.
For the past 1 month, we have gone for a bond training. We went through, the first phase was the PT, the physical training test. We all made it. The second phase was the ground training. That's when we did the PLF, that's parachute landing fall.
Normally, our troops that they used to normally carry to battlefield, sometimes before they will carry them and launch them into the battlefield, sometimes they will be exhausted, but with the use of a bond, once you paratroop, you drop and you snap and carry out your activity that you're meant to do. So a bond is a fast operation, is a fast way of operating that the army normally use now.
The event featured live jumps exercise with parachute by the cadet and decoration with airborne badges. In a few days, the cadet will be taken to Calabar in Cross River State for amphibious course. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
And now for a look at the foreign scene, where Ethiopian and Eritrean government forces have launched an attack in Ethiopia's northern region of Tigray, targeting rebel forces. The Tigray People's Liberation Front spokesperson Getachew Reda said on Thursday that both nations' forces had attacked rebels in Adayabu, the north of the region. The conflict resumed last week after a 5-month lull, with clashes on the ground and air raids over Tigray, dashing hopes of peacefully resolving the nearly 2-year war. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.